himself as old, and I was like, the cheeky bugger. I'm old, not Denver. Anyhow, spawning over in the top left-hand side, playing for Team Argo, it is Elazer.
And in the bottom right-hand side of the map, the red Zerg player for Team Oplon, I believe it is Denver.
Yeah, that makes way more sense. I just thought he looked at states in the US and was like, Denver.
No. Yeah, no. But he gets red pretty often. And red in Spanish, another word for this is Colorado. And there's Denver, Colorado is a place. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Is there anything, like, have you spoke to Elazer before this game or anything? Have you got any insider gossip?
No, not at all. No, we were meant to watch some replays of his CVP the other day, but we haven't gotten to it yet. So yeah, his CVC, I actually have no idea what he's planning or how he's feeling. But I think you're spot on when you say we can expect some sort of sharp timing from him.
Kat, so this drone.
Yeah.
Spell it out to me, because I'm looking at Denver. he's grooving. He's got a drone on the other side of the map.
I'll spell it out for you, Ben. IDK. I have no idea. Like,
I've got a feeling he's going to take, like, this is his third, and he's going to bait Elazer into playing as if he's only on 2 bases the whole time, which that can really throw you off. And maybe, I mean, I have no idea what he's going to do, man, with this. This is, I mean, this is cool.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. I mean, he could go for a roach attack off of this or something like that, but he does have the natural already, so it would be a little bit weird. As far as larva is concerned, I mean, you really don't want or need that much larva if you're going for a very early all-in. So yeah, I think so. Maybe he's trying to bait a laser into overproducing units on defense or on taking his own third base and then just being cautious to drone while he drones up. And this is exactly what I was talking about. Denver does not care right now, Ben, in the best possible ways, right? Like he's just everything that he's learned up until this stage in his career, he can apply in so many very different ways that all of a sudden he went from a somewhat semi-structured, like timing-oriented Zerg to a who knows what he's gonna do, and I love it.
Yeah, I love it as well. Elazer, though, like neither one of these players going for link speed in this situation, which that's interesting. Neither one of them even made lings to scout with either, which is also very interesting to me. Like, when it comes to ZVZ, this already feels very odd to me.
Yeah, Denver does start his link speed as you say that, and Lair actually going for a laser as well. So we expect to see some gases here relatively soon, and then maybe a laser going for something like a 2-1 timing. But if he does look for a 2-1 roach timing, Ben, that'll probably work out in the favor of Denver, who is taking this ninja expansion and will probably reap the benefits of it should a laser delay his attack by that long. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I think Denver's just going to launch an all-in from this, though. Like, I'm looking at everything. I'm looking at how it's lining up, and I'm not sure this is what he wants to run into. And this is kind of going to be his first proper scout to see what's going on. Because he hasn't even spotted that it's a Roach Warren and Evo at the front. Like, that's how blind these guys are.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And a lot of those, so that third is going to be used as a launching pad. The Queen just injected. There have been no drones made. And that is going to be a launching pad for roaches, which are otherwise going to struggle to move across the map. I mean, this will be marginally faster just because this map is so short rush distance regardless. But yeah, the link speed will come into play greatly. And if you're going to be reinforcing predominantly with links, then maybe, you can make use of that extra larva at the third as well, right? So I do think this is decent for Denver potentially. Elazer has already started producing his roaches, unfortunately for Denver, and no +1 carapace on the side of Elazer. So he smells that maybe something is coming. And Denver overextending a little bit with his first few roaches, as Elazer's roaches are going to pop in turn.
I wonder what Elazer's thinking. It's like, these roaches, how did they get here? And then it's like, what? There's a queen as well? And I mean, this isn't going well for Denver at all so far. And I mean, roach speed is going to finish. The Roach Warren's under threat, though, and +1 for Elazer as well.
Yeah, and the good thing for Denver is positioning, right? Like, Elazer has to actually get outside of his base in order to engage Denver, and that is going out through a choke. Regardless, actually, no regardless, nothing. Denver is looking pretty good. More links are also reinforcing here. Is it gonna be enough for the French player as more roaches pop up on the side of Elazer? But again, that chokehold is a little bit deadly. Okay, this is enough roaches that Elazer should be able to go out Denver should finish off that Roach Warren at the very end here. That should be his last dying breath, but he won't even do that as he sees a Roach Warren, a backup Roach Warren being produced in the back. Elazer will not fall for his trickery, and yeah, he'll take it.
I mean, cool attempt from Denver. I mean, it's not very often you see a wandering drone out when you're already taking a hatchery in ZVZ. But if he played against a lot of other stuff that wasn't this, because I mean, let's be real, Elazer played blind as a bat, was going for his own like 2-base, roach speed, +1 pressure build kind of thing, which unfortunately, if you're doing what Denver did running into that, it's just, it is unfortunate. And with the little overextension early on as well, kind of bit him in the ass a little bit, but interesting game 1 to say the least, and looking forward to see what game 2 brings already.
Yeah, it should be pretty exciting. This is a build order that I've actually seen sort of pull off in the past. I don't recall many other players trying to go for something like this. So it's pretty cool for Denver to try it. And, you know, maybe if Elazer overcommits, maybe if he starts getting his +1 carapace a little bit earlier and doesn't have like the roach production that he had when Denver was already showing up, Denver can capitalize a little bit better. So I didn't hate it. And yeah, not going to work out, however. Oxide, we could see something like Muta or something a little bit less roachy, given the ramps and the distance.
Yeah, we could see quite a bit of stuff. Like this map is it's a little harder to scout, I feel. Like getting those lings up the ramp and having banelings at the top of the ramp means these ling attacks are kind of less good on this map at least. But yeah, interested to see what happens next. I do feel that if Denver played out that game in a macro way against what Elazer was doing, it would have probably worked out way better for him, because having that hidden third and then Elazer crossing the map and being like, you're doing the same as me, but what's going on here? Like it could have really messed things up, and then we could have been in a really weird situation. But alas, did not happen. And we're getting into Oxide, spawning over in the bottom left as our blue Zerg is Elazer.
And as per usual, the red Zerg, it is going to be on the top right hand side. Denver not singing anymore. Oh no, he's still singing.
He's still singing while going was this 13 gas 12 pool? Which, that's a little bit cheeky from our boy Denver. Denver was like, you know what? No matter what happens today, I'm going out with fireworks. And he's not going out. It's just, you know, he's making it into the top 4 kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. This can be a little bit tricky, but most players at this level should be aware of the timings when those links arrive. It's not going to look exactly like a 12 pool. There might be a couple of links trailing behind the first 4 as well to give it away further. But this is a map where 12 pool is not very common because it is one of the larger maps. So there is a chance that, you know, Elazer looks at this and thinks it's something like a 12 pool. 12 pool doesn't usually have that gas follow-up or something like that. So the biggest mistake that you can make, and it is a mistake that is makeable, but I don't expect we'll see Elazer make it, is to pull drones to defend against the first few links of Denver.
I'm so bad against 12 pools, my Zerg, man. I have no idea what to do. But yeah, the first few lings are moving out, and this is super committed by Denver, even going for the Baneling Nest. He will run around as well, but Elazer just missing the vision here. So nicely timed.
Yeah, there's still a few giveaways for Elazer as far as the timing of the links arriving, and again, that gap between the four links at the front and the next 2 links to follow, right? Like that's a very I went 13-12 type tell. So Elazer is going to evacuate his natural base for now. Making a spine in the main is actually very good news for Elazer. If he thought that this was a 12 pool, he would not be doing that. So he has to already be preparing for something like a Baneling Bust, and he very well is, as he already drops his own Baneling Nest, which is very interesting because it means that, you know, he can more likely than not hold. But the problem is, in going this Baneling Nest, that you don't have the possibility to counterattack after the fact.
So, like, all right, let's look at this. That Spine Call is just about to finish up. The first 2 Banes coming in here. Nice Evo block, though. And would you say what Elazer's doing right now is like the textbook response, or the Baneling Nest is weird to you? What would you prefer?
I think that there are ways to hold without the Baneling Nest. I don't hate what Elazer's doing. What Elazer's doing right now is that there's no way in hell I'm gonna die to this response. But that opens up for Denver to do exactly what he's doing, which is just drone up, stop with the aggression, just be like, okay, you made a Baneling Nest, you don't have link speed forever now. You have an Evo Chamber that you can't really use. The Evo Chamber, in fact, is blocking the gas intake from Elazer from being as good as it could be. Oh! That's gigantic. And now Denver is just a happy camper. I mean, he's ahead, or he's even in workers. He has his expansion, now ahead in workers. He has his expansion coming. He has link speed. He has map control. And this was a build that Elazer did where he couldn't afford to take any damage. And he took damage.
Oh, man. So, Elazer, well, Denver now has speed, has his own hatchery. Like, he's just... This is game over, right? Like, what does Elazer do to try and get back into this?
He has to do something tricky. I don't know, maybe like some sort of two-base play, maybe super fast Muta and hope that your opponent overextends or doesn't attack completely. You know, like, there are definitely gambles that Cirque players can take as far as, are you going to attack me at all or not? And then I get away with murder in terms of just not making any defense, or in turn just maybe over defending and hoping that your opponent does attack or something of the likes, right? So there's a couple of gambles left for him, but for the most part, I agree, Benny. He's kind of dead.
I mean, what a rough situation. Because I was watching this game, right, and I was like, all right, I suck against this kind of stuff. What do I do? And I've learned that it's pretty hard to hold, man. Like, I liked the building positioning. I was like, yeah, I can take that, but the Banelings, like, it's so hard to stop them from dealing damage. By the way, this isn't me whining about this build being Imber, because if it was, everybody would do it. But yeah, it's just unfortunate, and that Evo as well as blocking the gas, so I had to deal with that. I mean, it's not looking good for Elazer.
Yeah, I mean, that Evo costs 2 drones and a half effectively. More than that, actually, 3 drones and a half if you count the one that makes it. So it's rather expensive to just end up killing it with a spine, right? So that's why I'm saying, like, if you commit to completely sealing your base like that, there's definitely no room for you to lose 9 or 10 workers. And as it stands, yeah, I mean, Elazer with 3 queens, completely useless spine at this point, completely useless to have more than the couple of queens that you would need as well. And Denver is playing this very, very well, just identifying his position and going himself for the very quick spire, droning up like a madman. He knows that he is completely free to do whatever he wants. He won't be killed. He won't be attacked.
Yeah, and denying all the scouting as well. I mean, both of them are kind of setting up their queens really nicely. But yeah, Elazer's done a good job of catching up in drones, actually, which I'm very impressed by. Now, the way that Zerg works, obviously their drones become buildings, and Denver's committed a lot more to buildings. All the gases, the spire itself, all that kind of stuff, even as an Evo down. So in a lot of ways, the supply's a little bit deceiving. Like,
oh, for sure.
Yeah, Denver's just in great shape.
Yeah, in amazing shape. I mean, yeah, the supply doesn't tell you anything about the tech. And I mean, we have a lair halfway done, whereas the spire is almost completed on the side of Denver, right? That's just such a massive advantage. A lot of the time we talk about, like, if you get away with Muta without your opponent spotting it, you're kind of in a great position already. This time around, I mean, he's going to get away with Muta, but his opponent doesn't even have a third that he can attempt at holding, right? Like, a lot of the time you're talking about, well, like, if they make Muta, then maybe you can see it and secure your 4th base or something like that and play the macro game from there. But here, I mean, you have Denver both going Muta and taking his faster third, right? So he's going to have all the map control as well that goes with this. And yeah, Elazer is just, supply extremely deceiving here.
Yeah, certainly is. And Denver's getting the +1 air attack as well for his mutas. And I mean, this Overseer flies in. It's like, yeah, I'm going to find out what's going on, right? And it's like, oh, damn, Spire's already done and the mutas are popping out. Like, it's a real rough spot. Oh, cheeky, Elazer. Nidus Worm on the way.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but that Nidus Worm, I mean, it might as well be a church because it's gonna, it needs some prayers here. It's not gonna work out, Ben. I mean, that's a complete desperation move. Denver's gonna see it. I like what Elazer was doing in terms of making a bunch of queens, but now actually canceling his third, thinking that he's not gonna be able to hold it, making the roaches. All Denver has to do is look out for a Nidus. He has a beautiful Overlord spread. He's now searching for additional Overlords or links out on the map with his Muta. And at this point, all he has to do is make units, make sure the Nidus doesn't go up, and he has won this game.
Yeah, I mean, Denver's in really good shape, and poor Elazer, nothing went right from this game. Oh, is he just going to queen walk the queens across?
Well, I mean, he
they'll-
doesn't have anything out on the map to even try to drop the Nidus because Denver cleared it all out. So, yeah, I don't mind this queen walk because, yeah, he's going to use the Nidus to reinforce instead. I mean, that is a lot of queens, for sure.
I mean, it actually is a lot of queens, and they do have +1, which is, it's a decent deal, and Denver's doing a good job of fighting in a position that's very difficult for Elazer. But yeah, these mutas, they've not reached their final form yet. They're going to be +1 very soon. And I mean, that's going to be a buttload of mutas. And this is, I mean, he's making it very tricky for Elazer.
Extremely so. Oh, no. Queen goes down without transfuses in spite of the transfuses being available. I love what you pointed out as well. Taking advantage of that choke earlier was Denver. But now he has the confidence to even jump on this mid-map, right? He doesn't have to jump on this mid-map, but he just thinks that he can. I would tend to agree with him. Most of the queens have been taken down. I would love for Denver to go to the front and kind of start working on the roaches, but Ling either counterattack or surround on the queens will just put an end to this. Elazer has to kill with his roaches, so I like that he is choosing to forgo even looking at the third base. As I say that, he leaves a few roaches at the third base. And
okay. So like the mutas inevitably will clean this up. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's enough roaches alive, really, to deal enough damage, but starting to make aggressive spore crawlers now, and you might be like, is he memeing? No, they're really good against mutas. That means the mutas will have to take them down, at least eventually. But these roaches, look at this. The Lings are buying just enough time that the mutas can sit on top of them.
Yeah, I mean, Denver could lose 20 workers, and he would still be in a great position this game. Elazer still doesn't have a third base. And at the end of this, Denver is still going to have all of his mutas intact, right? So again, he has, I mean, he could lose so much here and still be fine.
Yeah, I mean, all right. So Elazer, he's actually getting quite a lot of spores up, which is interesting to say the least. And he's really committing to this as well. Is there any way that Denver can lose this? Because I'm looking at this and I'm like, maybe you should get some spore crawlers at his natural, or spine crawlers at his natural, just in case.
Sure, yeah. I mean, you can make anything with your money right now, just in case, and it'll do, right? Like, I don't know. Maybe if Elazer took that base as his third base or something, but he put a Crypt Tumor in the middle of the base. Instead, he's gonna go for Ravagers and attempt at a slow crawl with those spores. But I mean, if you're Denver, just make any unit. Like, you don't need any more drones. Just make either spines or banelings, or Links and Muta will also cut it, to be honest. So as long as I guess, there's the way. If all of the Muta get hit by all of the corrosive vials all at once, then Elazer could win this.
That's hopeful to say the least. And Denver, he did lose a few mutas in the main base, but takes a pretty good fight on his side of the map, which does keep Elazer at bay for now. Spore crawlers are starting to move forward a little bit, trying to snipe off and deal what damage he can. Halting the creep spread is really important too, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, the mutas are just being annoying on the other side of the map. You have to applaud the resilience of Elazer. And if we look at the supply the entire game, right, it's like, like it makes you put your hand to your chin and be like, surely there's a way, but there just hasn't been one that I see. The problem is that Denver technically has every advantage, right? It may not look like he has a massive advantage on the supply front, but roaches, we know, are deceitful on that front. They are overly inflated for their supply cost, right?
But it is 1-1 roaches, which do pretty well against these Lings. They're 0-0. It's not as if he's making his own roaches. Like, I don't know, man. I'm starting to think that Elazer does have a chance, as weird as it sounds.
I mean, he has to cross this gap, I guess, with the spores. If you're Denver, just make some banelings if you really want to make sure that those spores, are going to get busted right away. He's going to go for a counterattack instead. I don't mind that at all. But yeah, all he has to do is make sure the spores never cross and burrow right under his muta.
Right. And I mean, that sounds pretty easy, but the amount of spores that Elazer actually has on that side of the map,
that is a lot of spores. True.
Yeah. I like, you're totally right. We got to commend Elazer for actually still being in this game when it looked so dire. 6 infestors on the way.
Okay. I mean, yeah, we were talking, maybe, if you land the perfect fungal center mass of the muta and chip in with a couple of corrosive vials in there. The problem is fungal's not what it used to be either, where if you actually catch the muta, you can just chain fungal them to death. if you catch this Muta, they can still fan out, and you shouldn't really be killing more than a few, right? So
what's been happening to the Queen camp, by the way? Because I feel like it hasn't gone up even remotely as much. Has Denver just been killing them constantly? How many Queens have died this game for Elazer?
that's a great question.
18?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's quite a lot.
18. Yeah, and look at this. I mean, Denver, at this point, even if the spores lift up, I don't know that it would be enough, like, even if they start burrowing, right? Because Denver's feeling confident enough in his mutant number that he's now chipping in and killing spores one by one. But he has to be careful in this maneuver against the Infestor, certainly.
Another run by from Denver, though. A lot of lings, and Elazer's like, damn it, you're just persistent with this, aren't you? And even though Denver's not always trading efficiently this game, he's got a way better economy. Oh, Elazer, he's down to 18 drones here, but the fungal.
Oh, massive fungal. Oh, and another one, center, massive all the muta. Let's get excited, but there's the fan out, Ben. And unfortunately, not all the mutas are gonna fall. That means, I mean, these roaches did make their way into the natural base. Actually, where are the spores if they could follow through?
Quite a few of the spores are just sat behind. I think Elazer was quite slow to move in them because that muta count definitely been lowered a little bit here.
For sure, for sure. All right,
the Queen's still shooting, and the spores are moving. They're starting to plant now. There's 3 down over here. I mean,
there's no more fungal though, and the mutas are back to full HP too.
Yeah, that's rough.
It's a rough one. It's a tough sell, but I mean, yeah, big props to Elazer for lasting as long as he did, at least, and for lasting on the aggressive of all things, right? Like, not even just defending until he dies, but rather trying to make something happen actively. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to say, Ben. I mean, if 18 queens were still here, then that could be good.
Hey, Fungal's ready pretty soon, but the spores are dying. Fighting toe-to-toe with them. I mean, Denver, like, he is richer than his opponent, but there is a place, there is a moment where Elazer can still do this. That's 5 fungals available. Oh my goodness. That's
all right, here is a couple of those. That is a way to start, Ben, and now the roaches making their way into the natural base. I would like for Denver to evacuate those. The Queen's trying to get in front of the roaches to kill the weakened muta. And there's, I mean, 4 queens with a lot of transfuse available. I think that, yeah, I mean, this is, you know, it's the best play that I could have ever imagined as far as making it as close as possible for Elazer.
You know, okay, so there's a lot of gas still for Elazer. I wouldn't mind if he just goes a lot of infestors at this point. Like, I think that's actually the play. And here he's trying to stay alive. He's only got 1 spore still left alive here, which is holding strong, trying to make a few more. I mean, this game is bonkers, man. What is going on?
If Elazer wins this game, I will give you $100 on PayPal, Ben. But
wow,
that's a big bonus. So get excited.
Come on, Miko! Come on! I got a baby.
But I mean, I mean, he has put a great effort. I don't know what else to say. It's ridiculous. It seems like the same play over and over, to where there's just about nothing left to say. But the next round of fungals, and maybe the next round of queens, and 3 more infestors that you were talking about. And the one glimmer of hope for Elazer is also that Denver has not looked to transition out of this at all, right? Like, we haven't seen anything but Mutaling. At some point, maybe he could have gone for roaches. At some point, he could have done the spines that you were talking about. The natural base is gonna fall for Denver. Start getting excited, Ben. This is happening.
I mean, look at that fungal again. And I mean, oh my goodness, what is happening? He's trying to keep him alive. That's another big fungal there. I mean, these mutas are so damn low.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. Those mutas are going to regenerate rather quickly. But hey, great opening for Elazer to go into the 3rd base of Denver here. And Denver is going to have to come with the rest of his muta. Now they have healed, unfortunately, for Elazer. This course not quite yet burrowed. Going after the infestors, but here's the reinforcing 3 infestors. And maybe 5 or so of those muta could fall here. The Nidus will finally get taken down. Mind you, Denver, Ben, I mean, they're like, this looks better than it, you know, you look at the minimap and you think, oh my god, if Elazer kills this base, he is maybe starting to do it, but the problem for him is also the mining at his natural base, right? So I think the best way that Elazer, or the most likely way that Elazer wins this game, is if Denver thinks that he has lost this game and leaves. But in my opinion, Denver is still in a pretty decent position with the muta, but I mean, he's out of mining bases.
I actually like this for Elazer, man. Like, for real. I mean, this is one of the most clowny games I've ever seen. The fact that Elazer has made it even remotely as close as it is, because Elazer's still sort of mining. Okay, that's brutal with those infestors. That is rough. And maybe Denver's like, oh, I've got it, man. I've got it. I mean, like, is Denver even mining? Okay, he's long distance mining.
Yeah, there's a lot of queens. Those infestors will gain value over time in accruing some energy. And there is, mining technically for Elazer. I'm surprised that he's not getting any more gas. I can understand why he wouldn't, but maybe 1 or 2 drones per gas wouldn't be the worst thing for him. Denver's trying to do what he can here. Even to bait Fungos wouldn't be the worst play for him, who, he has the money to drop a hatchery, so I'm surprised that he hasn't yet.
Wow, 4 more infestors on the way. That's actually that's a really big deal. By the way, these offensive spores on the other side of the map still trying to scoot around, doing what they can. I mean, oh, that's a big fungal.
Ben, 500 IQ as well. Like, I was criticizing Elazer for the creep tumor earlier. Well, not really criticizing, but I thought maybe he could take that base. But now, actually, Denver wanted to take this base and he couldn't, right? Like, the drone went over to that location. Now it's having to go elsewhere. It's chasing us. I don't know what this game is, but it's amazing.
This is some great StarCraft, man. Like, this is not what you expect. And, 50 to 51 supply. What's the resources lost tab? Denver's lost so much more. Maybe 68 mutas have gone down in this game where Elazer's been on 2 base for 20 minutes. What on earth is going on?
If Elazer wins this game, I'm changing my portrait as well to Elazer for the foreseeable future. So that's, this is incredible from the Polish player here to make it as close as he has. Finally, Denver decides to drop that 3rd hatchery at his triangle base expansion. But Ben, this is looking amazing.
This number of infestors now, he can actually start using Microbial Shroud against the mutas as well, which would actually be quite decent. Like, he has a lot of energy soon to spend, and these queens, he's going to start marching across the map. Has to be careful.
Really careful, really careful. That's a lot of infestors. I was talking earlier about how you have to change so many fungos in order to kill this muta. So now, even if the muta spread, you could use 3 different fungos at a time. Once those infestors get full on energy, you could probably kill most amounts of muta, no matter what, because that's a ton of infestors.
Hey, Cats, look at Denver's face right now. Like, he's starting to tilt, man. He's like, he's feeling it. He's feeling
my God, he's leaning back.
Absolutely.
That smile is starting to fade.
He's like,
lean back.
Yeah, he's like, I lost this game.
I know this? Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, the tilt back on the face, then we've all done that. No way. Okay. Oh no! He's asking for the draw.
Elazer shakes his head. This is like WWE, man.
That smile. He deserves that smile. I am. Besides myself, this is such an amazing CVC, Ben. It's one of the most fun.
It's not CVC.
because Elazer asked for a draw to skill us just a couple of days ago. So that's what Denver, I think, is referencing as well. Partly is like when it got to a really awkward state for Elazer, he asked for a draw.
And this is only 2 mutas, and Denver did a good split on it. But look how much. Yeah, I think Denver's slowly realizing this game escaped him. Miko, thank you for the $100, my son.
Yeah, message me your PayPal. By all means, man.
No, I can't take $100 off you. I have nothing on the line.
I have to. No, I'll gladly pay it, Ben. I think I wanted to put something on the line here because I've been saying this game has been over, and I couldn't be more pleased to be proven wrong here because it's an amazing game to commentate. So I love it.
Yeah, we were both like, okay, what does Elazer do now? It's like, well, he dies. But it's like, how does he die? And look at this. I think these are the final moments here.
This is it. This might be it. Yeah, I think this is it. The mutas, they've given up. GG in 3, 2, 1, and there it is. Denver losing the game and the series. Elazer besides himself. I have no idea how he made this happen. What an incredible CVC.